Online personality Tasha K has found someone else to gossip about, and this time it's 11-year-old Blue Ivy Carter. For the last few months, Beyonce has been on her Renaissance World Tour and has brought her daughter Blue Ivy on board as a performer. When clips were first released of Blue Ivy's dancing, people criticized her choreography. Now it looks like Tasha K has decided to add her own commentary on the topic, and her opinion has received a mixed response. Some agree with what she was saying, while others didn't appreciate Tasha K for talking about someone's child. Today we have our company hype analyst Pierre along with Joya calling in to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Soon enough, she went on to tell the publications that she's super proud seeing Blue Ivy perform with her mom. Now, I can't help, that's a little bit of shade because everybody knows Blue Ivy was very stiff up there. I like Blue Ivy. I think she's beautiful. Her mama already has her life being set up, but her mama has to be honest with her and tell her the truth. I need Beyonce to take a day trip back down to Houston. I need her to take a trip to the projects. Leave Blue Ivy down there for 1 week, and let's see if she's able to loosen up. Because like put her in a all-hood cheerleading camp. You know there's the black cheerleaders and the white cheerleaders. I got a feeling she over there with the white cheerleaders. They're not supposed to bend over all the way. They're supposed to do this. I just think Blue Ivy just needs a little bit of tweaking, okay? Maybe next tour. If I'm paying $2,000 to see, I don't want to see a robot up there. She looked like the iRobot that be vacuuming my floors.
Pierre, you know how this goes. A lot of people are responding to Tasha K. I want to get your reaction after seeing Tasha K respond to Blue Ivy's performance. What are your thoughts?
Did Tasha K say she don't want to spend $2,000 to watch iRobot? First of all, is that who she going to see? I know that she ain't going to see Beyonce with all those hits and all those other dancers. She paid to see the young little 11-year-old girl. Man, she don't kick rocks with that. Man, look here. It's a fantastic thing when a parent can take a child to work with them. Okay, look, we as grown folk or people going to that concert, we understand what's happening. I'm not expecting Blue Ivy to be the best dancer up there. Hell no. I see her up there enjoying herself with her mother. Her mother has done enough tours that I've seen greatness of her mother, for me to sit there and critique a 11-year-old for not doing it right like a girl from the hood or whatever. It's her child. She wants to have a child experience the life of being on tour. And her going up there, it's okay. I'm not about to say, man, that concert wasn't worth it, man, because I saw an 11-year-old dancing up there. No, come on now. Come on, we're seeing Beyonce. Focus on the right thing, Tasha K. If you're not going to focus on the right thing, you better focus on the bankruptcy lawyer you need, because once them killer bees come at your ass, okay, right, it's going to be a whole bunch different. That whole room going to be different that you telling the jokes in. You're going to be telling that show out of a prison. You're going to have bars in front of you while you do your show, Miss Tasha K. Watch it.
Joya, I hear you chiming in already. Thank you for joining us on this topic. I'd love to get your thoughts on Tasha K's reaction.
I agree with Pierre on this one. Like, Tasha K, you haven't learned your lesson yet. And I know she uses these moments to go viral, she uses these moments to kind of edge people on, but I'm just not a big fan of adults bullying children. You have children that deal with social media bullying all the time. And like Pierre said, she is a minor. She shouldn't have to deal with it coming from an adult. And I was always taught that you never talk about a Black woman's child. They talked about her hair. They talked about, how she was talking to her parents one time at a concert. Leave Blue Ivy alone. Like, leave her alone. I'm gonna start that campaign. Leave Blue Ivy alone.
And there are a lot of people that agree with you. And of course, a lot of people are going against Tasha K. I'll read some of those comments and Tasha K will actually respond. Here's what a couple people had to say. She's too old to be speaking on a child. An adult talking this way about a child is all levels of disgusting. And also a lot of people are bringing up, did you not learn your lesson with Cardi B and what you're having to, having to pay Cardi B? And as Pierre mentioned, those bees don't play. And as far as Beyonce bees, her beehive does not play. But I want to take a look at Tasha K's response to all the negative comments and come back and get your thoughts. Let's take a look.
I have never, oh my God, this is like a toxic ass fan base. So I got an email from Alejandra Bernie, says, stupid bitch. Then I got another email from Evoxy, Tasha, more like Tash shit. Burning hell, black dog. Got another one that says You ghetto ass piece of shit. You did not ever speak on Beyonce and her child ever. What I want to ask you, if Beyonce ain't fucking reached out to me, why the fuck are y'all reaching out to me on behalf of a little girl whose mama won't even let you breathe on her? And y'all must think I give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Dance is something that has always been a part of the black culture. And if you look back on how Beyonce was dancing at the age of 11, it wasn't like Blue Ivy. Beyonce out here putting the girl in the public eye. When you put the girl in the public eye on a tour that's selling tickets 2,000, 5,000, don't have your dancers slow down to help catch up with her, and it impacts the show that I'm paying for. Beyonce ain't even dancing on her own tour. She's standing in front of metal mirrors, sitting on horses, sitting down and singing. She ain't breaking no sweat. And this is the highest grossing tour that she's ever done.
Now, just as I mentioned, there are mixed reviews earlier. I read a couple of comments of people that are against her, but there are actually some people defending Tasha K, and I want to read some of those. One user said, everybody under this post is being so extra. That's a woman, and that's her platform. If she feels like Blue Ivy stiff, then that's her MF opinion. LOL sheesh. Get a effing life and move on. Another user said, y'all love attacking black woman for their opinion, and y'all know she was stiff, and y'all hype that up, but real people are here to clock the tea whether you like it or not. It's piping hot. Pierre, I'll come to you, and I don't even want to say it playing devil's advocate. I'll just mention Tasha K talks about, and people in the comments are talking about, hey, you know, I have an opinion that I'm expressing just as I would with anybody else. When you put your child into the limelight or, you know, at the forefront of an audience, you know, this comes with the territory. What are your thoughts about that? And do you think there's any responsibility on, you know, on the parents before doing so? Because we saw this also with, you know, Zaya Wade getting a lot of, you know, criticism in the limelight. What are your thoughts?
It comes to real Beyonce fans and casual fans. If you're a casual fan, I understand what she's saying. If the performance isn't looking good and it does not, the moves aren't doing good because they're following a young girl who's not doing, you know, whatever. You know, you're up there not doing the same speed and volume that a normal concert would do. I didn't go to the concert. I don't know if it's every song. Is it every song? Is it one song she comes out and does it?
She has one little dance part. Dance part.
So it's like, so if it's that one little dance part, come on now. Now, if you're not a real fan of Beyonce, then yeah, you're going to complain. But if you really care and love Beyonce and love Jay-Z and love the whole thing that she's put together, that black woman Beyonce has put together over all these years, to have her daughter up there, you don't mind. Now, if you're a casual fan, then yeah, you're going to complain, you know, like she does. So Tasha's not a real fan. No. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why she paid $2,500 to go see somebody she's not really a fan of. So she just has a platform that she can complain on. I ain't mad about that, but baby girl, let me teach you something. If you don't know by now, if you open that trap, okay, and you talk that kind of stuff, you're going to get some blowback, and don't be all shocked like, oh my God, I can't believe you would talk like that. You talk just as ratchet about certain situations, so it is what it is. You put it out there, you're going to receive it. It is what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I was surprised by her saying, you know, if Beyonce hasn't reached out to me, and I'm like, you don't want those problems. I wouldn't want Beyonce reaching out to me.
And why would Beyonce reach out to her? Shit.
It's going to be her lawyers, and it's not going to be good. It's going to be worse than what you experienced with Cardi B. But let me bring you in, Joy. I hear you chiming in already. I'd love to get your thoughts. You know, there are a lot of people saying, like, hey, this comes with the territory. You know, she's giving her opinion amongst other adults just giving their opinions. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank God that Beyonce is just not on the level of Tasha K. So I doubt if she even knows that this is happening right now. Thank God for that. But on the other end, I would be more worried about that $4 million that I owe Cardi B. I wouldn't publicly say that I'm going to any concert that's above $2,000 if I was Tasha K for attorneys, Cardi B's attorneys, because they watch every single move that Tasha K makes. So I would be more concerned about publicly saying that I would go to a concert that's more than $2,000 when I owe $4 million to another artist. So Tasha K, she's being a bozo right now.
I'm gonna call her Tasha K Mart because K Mart ain't around no more. It's really extinct. Tasha K Mart.
You know, she's just trying to get her views up and things like that. But yeah, Tasha K, she knows that she shouldn't be talking about anybody's child. She wouldn't want anybody talking about her two children.
It's definitely unfortunate. I think something that was mentioned here in the studio, kudos to Blue Ivy for being able to perform in front of over 50,000 people when most people can't even stand up in front of a classroom. I remember I used to hate being called on, to read out loud in front of the classroom. So big shout out to Blue Ivy for that. But we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, Joya, I'm actually kicking it over to you to take over for You Be the Judge. It's been some crazy things circulating online. So when we come back, Joya will take lead. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey Hypers, it's Joya, your Justice Bae, for another segment of You Be the Judge. And a video went viral this past weekend that shows an older Black woman in Lancaster, California. She was being assaulted by a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy outside of a local grocery store. Now, the woman was videotaping her husband being arrested after they both were detained after the deputies were called by the store because the couple was falsely accused of stealing a cake. In California, under First Amendment laws, the woman and others are well within their right to film law enforcement in any public or private setting, as long as it doesn't interfere with law enforcement activity or endanger others. In fact, citizens who film law enforcement could use these recordings as evidence of any criminal or civil law cases. Now, the woman who was older was thrown to the ground, pepper sprayed in the video, and her husband was already handcuffed, yelling out, "She has cancer." Now, the LASD is now investigating this incident as a use of force case. But if you've seen the video, it was absolutely heartbreaking.
Why y'all doing this shit, man? Bro, why y'all doing all this? My mom is fucked up, man. I'm trying to tell her.
No, you can't touch me. You can't touch me. Get on the ground. It's already on YouTube.
Stop.
Live.
I don't give. Stop. Stop. You're gonna get punched in the face.
You touch me and you're gonna get sued.
Don't sock her.
Get your neck off my, oh my,
Don't sock her.
Call the commander. Call the commander.
Put your hands behind your back.
So much is going on with this case, and I know our comments will be jumping and will be all over the place. Pierre, this couple was accused of stealing a cake that appeared to be less than about $20 in the video. Now, we understand this is a private business, but should grocery stores prosecute and criminally charge individuals for theft less than $20? I also want to note that we're learning that this was a false accusation of them stealing that cake.
Wow, man, that is totally disheartening. It triggers so many things. A white man doing it to a Black woman, then the way he threw her down like a rag doll. Then it's the police. It's a civil person. It's just civil citizen. It just hurts all across the board. There's no regard. It's such a disregard for human life and just even a woman, man, to do that. Like, was it really necessary to be that throwing her down like that, man? That man should definitely be reprimanded. Something should happen to him. Damn, he'd go to jail off the force. But there was something inside of him that was beyond that moment. You get what I'm saying? There was something he was, beyond that. And I think he needs some counseling or get the hell off the force.
Right. I agree with you, Pierre. In the video, it was very heartbreaking, and it did feel a little personal. The deputies were responding to the grocery store, Winco, actually calling and saying that the couple stole a cake, which I believe was a little less, it appeared a little less than $20. My question, I have so many, those are, I don't believe the grocery store should involve law enforcement when it's theft of property under $20. But what do you believe in this case? Do you believe that grocery stores should call the police on people if it's a little
Miss Bae? Well, Ms. Bae, first of all, it's a business, if we let $20 slide, a whole bunch of people running there knowing that for $20 or less, they ain't gonna trip. And, it is a business. You just don't let people just keep stealing. Trust me, if we know that $20 and below won't be reported, it's gonna be what it's gonna be after a time. But to what extent do anybody, if you handcuff somebody or you bring the law, how aggressive do you need to be?
Right.
For something as minor as that. It's not like a bank robber with a gun with them and so forth. You gotta be rough and tough with them. But when you just, like I said, there's a lot of pent up frustration pre, feelings of people. Them cops, they can claim they're just doing their job, but they're human. They have feelings. They have, probably some racial stuff with them, feeling a certain way, tired of seeing black people doing this or that, whatever, and took it overboard. And we need people like that off the force, because the next thing gonna happen, that man gonna pull that gun out and start shooting innocent black people, or anybody, Latinos, whites. So that was some trash right there, straight trash from the police. And I really hope something happens to them. If it doesn't, it's just a shame. Them cops are going to continue to do that, act that way. So.
Yeah, and what was interesting to me is we always think that these are cops in the South, but this happened in Lancaster, California.
Hell yeah, I know what that said.
This was not the South. And for those police officers to use that amount of force on an older Black couple, I think that it was completely unnecessary. But for me, like I said, with businesses like that, of course, they don't want to lose any type of, shrinkage or any type of product. But I do believe that there should be processes implicated where you don't involve law enforcement into those cases. So I don't know, law enforcement should have another strategy. They should go through some more questioning and discovery, but I don't believe that they should be prosecuting and bringing to court theft of property less than $20.
All right. I mean, when they say one sin work better than another sin. I mean, if you're stealing. But how do we alleviate that? What is it, Miss Bay, Justice Bay? How do we fix that? Put a security guard in every place, and what is the situation there? What would you do? I mean, if you say don't prosecute or don't arrest somebody under $20, what happens? If somebody steals $18 worth of stuff? Just let it go.
I think a security officers should be involved, but I don't believe that you should always call the police when it comes to $20 of loss of property. There is an organization called Cancel the Culture that will be leading a protest today to call for the officers to be terminated, because we always hear in these types of cases that they were placed on administrative leave. We're learning to understand these cases a little bit more. They're undergoing training, but I don't think enough training is going to stop these types of incidences. There needs to be other processes in place that don't involve a first responder that has a gun or a taser or that could potentially harm someone. So that's what I suggest. And I don't think that that's being used in other communities other than our communities. So we definitely need to think about it.
I understand. Let me ask you a question. What happens if a Karen situation happens and somebody's accusing you of something like that? Would you want the police to be called then? That's no money involved. I mean, no money involved. So somebody's calling you, cussing you out, and still calling you a thief out front, whatever. What would you want? Would you want what? Who stops that? If there's no security guard there, would you want to just walk away, or do you want the police to be called to handle that?
If I was a business owner?
Well, no, you just who you are. Who you are too.
If I was a business owner, if I was myself, I definitely wouldn't want people to accuse me of being a thief. But if I was the business owner, I definitely would say, no, I wouldn't involve police officers for less than $20. I'm sorry.
Right, I didn't say that. I was saying, no, I'm saying if a Karen is arguing with you, yelling and screaming at you, whatever, it could be whatever, parking space, whatever. How do you handle it? If somebody wants to call the police because they see that interaction, are you okay with that, calling the police then? Or do you say no police is involved unless it's a real crime?
If I was the person that was like the victim or something like that.
Right, somebody's Karen cussing you out for taking the parking, but whatever, your black child somewhere, whatever it was. And
what I try to do is mitigate interactions that could involve police. I would try to de-escalate. I'm not the type of person that always wants to get the last word or always wants to show someone up. So I would go to another parking space. It is not that serious when it comes to my life, when it comes to the life of my children. So that's what I would do. I try at all costs, and that's for anybody else out there, to de-escalate situations. You don't always have to have the last word. In these times that we're living in post-pandemic, you don't know what these people are on. You don't know what kind of invisible mental health issues people are dealing with. And I know we always use that as a cop-out, but there are some people that do have some mental health challenges, and it's best to just mitigate and not.
I understand. So you're going to another parking space. Let me start reading them comments today. Woo!
I will. I can take it. I can take
that white woman make you change that parking space. Woo! Wait.
I would go to another parking space that is not that crucial for people to call the police.
I know that's right. Okay. All right. Just want to understand.
Well, thank you, Joya, for laying that up. Yeah, I do hope that, you know, you would think that training would help these officers, but I think something that you mentioned, Joya, about how you de-escalate, it seems like we're seeing some of these officers that don't know how to do that don't know how to de-escalate situations. So I don't know exactly what the solution is, but you know, maybe if it is some type of officer that doesn't have like a gun or something, because that's when it gets scary for me, when it's like, okay, it's something under $20, you have a gun and you could potentially, you know, snap or not know how to handle this situation the right way. So,
but I will throw it out there. I believe if the couple was another shade, that this would not have happened the way it did. So I do want to lift that up, that I do believe that race plays an outsized role in this type of case.
Yeah. And I guess we'll continue to see how this unfolds as this investigation continues to happen. Thank you again, Joya, for you be the judge. Of course, before you guys head out, I'd like to know what you have going on. So, Joya, I'm going to start with you, Ms. Justice Bay. What do you have coming up? And, of course, how can people follow you?
Tomorrow, I will be traveling to Dallas to talk to a group of folks on how to prevent incidences like this, and also to address issues related to the capital punishment system. So I'll be working with lawyers and advocates, and you can find out what I'm doing on Instagram at @JusticeBay_.
We appreciate you and all the hard work you're doing. Mr. Pierre, AKA, put it in the comments. What do you have coming up? And, of course, how can people follow you?
And knowing you would knuckle it up. You ain't moving your spot, girl. I know you, how you get down. You gonna knuckle it up. Like, heifer, I ain't moving now. What I ain't gonna do is move now, all right? Ain't no mitigating with your behind. You know, you might be pretty on stage, sitting there, and both of y'all, but Simply ain't playing that game. She's like, hell no.
Man, I'm working on it. I'm working on it in therapy, Pierre. I'm working on it in therapy.
For those who want to follow me, Comic Pierre, COMICPIERRE, on all social media platforms. I'm going on a cruise this weekend for a couple of days, 4 days. And yes, appreciate it. Thank y'all for watching Pierre's Panic Room. Like I said, you're always watching. For those who watch it, come up to me and tell me how much you enjoy it. Also here on Comedy Hype News. I mean, I'm seriously, I can't walk 2 feet without somebody telling me, man, I appreciate it. And I love it. I love the attention and the love I get. And they keep telling me, keep talking that talk. So whatever you put in the comment, if it ain't positive, I'm going to keep talking that talk.
I absolutely love it. Again, thank you both for chiming in on these topics. But you heard from us. Now we want it from you in the comments below. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Put it in those comments.
I'm going to see y'all in the comments.
What's up? I'm Terrence Sims. For years, you come to us to get the latest news in comedy and for your favorite comedians. Now, you can come to us for even more news in the world of sports, music, and pop culture. We're bringing you some of our classic shows you love, like Unforgotten, the Comedy Hype News Show, and more one-on-one interviews. We're more than just laughs, we're the culture, the leader in truth. And well, your streamer got a little more blacker. Welcome to Hype Plus.